Welcome, standout fans. It's your boy Ron Money here. Another episode of Science Over Stats. Today, I'm gonna give you guys the Week 11 NFL recap. So, start with Thursday Night Football. Seahawks get the win over Arizona. Kyler had 269 yards, 2 touchdowns. Russ had 197 yards, 2 touchdowns. This game was amazing, just because obviously the matchup last time was fantastic. This time, obviously, the Seahawks shut down the Cardinals' rushing game. They couldn't get a lot going. And then at the end, they got that sack before Kyle Murray could try to throw another Hail Mary to, hopefully get another win. But that game was amazing. Russ played like himself again, which is always good to see after, having a rough game last week against the Rams. And, yeah, Browns beat the Eagles. Not a surprise to me. The Eagles have been struggling all year. Wentz 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Baker had 204 yards, and Chubb had 114 yards. The Saints beat Atlanta with Taysom Hill as the starting quarterback. Now, I believe personally Winston should have started because, yeah, throwing the ball, Hill did a good job, but they had rushing touchdowns. I think he showed why he should be a running back. I really don't think why he showed, I'm sorry. I don't think he showed why he should be the quarterback. He had no passing touchdowns, which, I mean, I get it. Quarterbacks don't have passing touchdowns all the time, but you want to show you belong as a starting quarterback. Not really throwing some passing touchdowns doesn't really help your case. But Hill had 284 total yards, 2 total touchdowns, which were rushing touchdowns. Michael Thomas had 104 receiving yards. Matt Ryan, 232 yards, 2 interceptions, and Ridley had 90 yards. Then we go over to Washington that beat Cincinnati. Burrow had 203 yards, 1 touchdown before his ACL, MCL, and a bunch of other damage done to his knee. Before that, they're on pace to win the game. I thought they should have won the game, but obviously that injury happened, and Washington got the win. Smith had 116 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Gibson had 94 yards and a touchdown, and then McLaurin, up and coming, great wide receiver, had 84 yards. Carolina shuts out Detroit. Stafford had 178 yards, couldn't really get anything going, especially in the offensive end. And then PJ Walker, XFL quarterback, got his first NFL start, 258 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions, and then DJ Moore had 127 receiving yards. The Steelers beat the Jags, demolished them. The defense played very excellent. Big Ben had 267 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception. Connor had 89 yards, and then Johnson had 111 yards. And then the Steeler defense forced Ludden to throw 4 interceptions. It's ridiculous. Obviously, 4 interceptions in one game is just crazy all around. So you don't really see that a lot. Then we got Titans beat the Ravens in OT. Tannehill 259 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Henry had 133 yards and touchdown. And Davis had 113 yards. And on the other end, Lamar 186 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Dobbins had 70 yards and a touchdown, and Andrews had 96 yards and a touchdown as well. This game, the Texans beat the Pats. Deshaun Watson basically just put his team on his back. He had 380 total yards, 3 touchdowns. Cook had 85 yards. Cam had 365 yards, 1 touchdown, and Bird had 132 yards and a touchdown. This is I believe, the most yards he's thrown in the game since the Seattle game. Because with Cam in New England, they're still trying to figure out a system, and I just think they're too predictable. So it's good to see them throw the ball more, because usually he gets out of 20. Oh, they're running with Cam or Burkhead, or they're just running the ball in general. So it was good to see them open up the playbook and start throwing the football more because the Texans forced them to. And obviously, they didn't get the win, but they showed they can throw the ball when needed. It's always good to see. Um, the Broncos had beat the Dolphins. Fitz 117 yards, interception. Parker had 61 yards and a touchdown. Then Locke had 270 and an interception. Gordon, put the team on his back, carried the load, 84 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Patrick had 119 yards. Nothing new here. The Chargers beat the Jets. Flacco 205 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception. Mims had 71 yards, and then Herbert, excellent as always. I believe he's gonna be Rookie of the Year now. Now that Burrow is out for the season, he had 366 yards, 3 touchdowns, and Allen had 145 yards and a touchdown. The Colts beat the Packers in OT. Rodgers 311 yards, 3 touchdowns, and interception. Adams had 106 yards and a touchdown. And Rivers 288 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And Taylor rushed for 90 yards. And then in his return to the Cowboys, Dalton 203 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Elliott had 103 yards, which got them the win. Cousins had 314 yards, 3 touchdowns. Cook 115 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then Thielen had 123 yards and 2 touchdowns as well. Sunday Night Football, Chiefs hold on late. Mahomes 348 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Hilaire had 69 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kelsey had 127 yards and a touchdown as well, which Kelsey is actually only 16 yards away, I believe, to having for leading the league in receiving yards. He's behind Hopkins right now, and it's really rare to see a tight end lead the league in receiving, and the fact that he's almost there, if he gets in second, it's still ridiculous. Marked by a tight end shows you how good he is and show you how reliable he is, because Mahomes obviously trusts him and put the ball in his hands all the time. And then the other end, Derek Carr, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, interception. Always that interception came right at the end of the game. I believe if he threw that ball a little harder, Aguilar's behind the DBs at the touchdown in this game. But obviously he threw it too soft, got picked off, and that was the end of the game. And then Waller, 88 yards and a touchdown. And then you go to Monday Night Football. Goff played a very good game. There was times in the game that was slow, but they picked it back up and got the W. Goff had 376 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Kupp had 145 yards receiving. And Brady, on the other hand, 216 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Brady has 9 interceptions through week 11. Last year, he only had 8 interceptions the whole season. Obviously, it's difficult being a different system. I'm not going to, hold anything against him. But, yeah, guys, that's all for today. Thank you guys. Stay tuned for more episodes. I got a bunch of pick ones on the way. I got the draft recap. I got NBA free agency so far. My thoughts on that. Just stay tuned. Keep checking us out. Please give feedback, comments, everything. It all helps. Thank you guys. Take care.